10. Looks like Sean Dickinson. No, let it go. Oh, Saunders back in the pack. Big sponsor. Donovan's in it. Sean English is in it. Oh my God.
Caution! No way. Or he's gonna dive bomb him. Here he goes. He's gonna try a bomb. All the way to his bumper. Can he shove him? Can't do it. Dylan Norton is gonna win it here in Iowa.
Bump and run! Oh, he's done this before!
Bump and run, the 61 to the inside. Can he make it work? He's got it.
Inside of the 02. He's sliding! Oh, Burrows is around! Oh, the wrecking right in front of him. That's Mokrin.
Jones, great run on the high side.
Drive off the corner and...
They're gonna be side by side. This is gonna be a photo finish 3 wide out the wire. And that's the stripe. It's gonna be Ruggles! Oh my God, what a finish! iSCAR is in. We're up and away. Green flag.
61, Dominic Howell.
Oh, he gets hooked! Oh my God! Hard as the wall! Huge track on the start finish line. Who comes out on top?
Dallas Mahan wins.
Dallas Mahan wins it! What? Make quick work of that number 9 of Eric Andrews. Andrews launches up the racetrack. Oh, what's going on? No! Oh, they're gonna be wrecking. That's the big one. Oh my God, Connor's involved. They're still wrecking.
We are going to be live here from Pocono Raceway. I'm Benjamin White, and we got Dewey Schramm alongside me with the commentary today. We got pretty small field for iSCAR standards, but we're on tap for a great race. We got all the lap times pretty closely bounded with each other. Right now, Cody Webster's here, but he's going to be officiating instead because he's on a suspension and will not have the opportunity to make it 3 in a row today. Dewey, you've been seeing the lap times this whole session. Who do you think is going to be doing good in the race?
Well, the top 4, Mulrooney, Weil, Howe, Grindle, they seem to be half second or higher ahead of everyone else, or half second lower in terms of lap times. So I think there's a possibility where we'll see a 3 or 4 car breakaway for the lead most of the race. But who knows? It's Pocono, it's bronze. It could be a battle between everybody. We'll have to see.
Yeah, time's running out in this practice. We've only got about a minute and a half left. Right now, up on the top of this scoring board, we got Aaron Mulrooney with a 57.050, and Christopher Weil very, very close with a 57.053. Those two guys are really close to each other on lap time. They're going to be a good duo to watch in this race. All right, we'll take a look at the point standings right now. You got two-time winner Cody Webster leading the points. He has 188. Dominic Howe is here in this race. He is second in points, 151. He is 37 points back. Austin Johnson, third. He is not here, but he's 49 points back. Paul Granata is fourth. He is 56 points back. And Eric Stamp is fifth in standings, 76 points back.
So with Eric Stamp showing up today, he's got a good shot at really cutting into the guys in front of him. He could make up some big ground in the point standings today if he can get like a top 5 or a top 3 finish.
Atlanta winner Jonathan Hernandez is sixth in points, 77 points. Harry Grindle is seventh in the standings, He's 89 points back. Aaron Maroney Jr. is 8th in points standings. He's 93 points back. Eric Heaters in 9th in standings, 96 points back. And Jackson Minshew is 10th in points, 98 points back. So most of the guys around the 2nd in points to 12th in points range, with the exception of just a couple of drivers. So lots of opportunity for people to gain points and cut into Cody Webster's lead, because he is suspended for right now because of his intentional crash of Daniel Falkingham at New Hampshire in the Xfinity Series. Just really unacceptable move, but it's not really like Cody to do that, and he probably knows it was wrong and won't do that again. Qualifying is now underway here at Pocono. Christopher Weil has the quickest lap at a 57.33. He is 3/10 quicker than the next guy in line, Keaton Jones, who has a 57.671. These lap times are really spread out because it's a big track, and there's lots of opportunity to mess up on your qualifying lap.
Agreed, and practice leader Aaron Mulrooney unfortunately fell out during the playing of the national anthem, so hopefully he can make himself back into the session and get himself qualified up.
Yeah, I'm hoping that's not an internet issue, that it just could have been like his game crashing or what. I mean, yeah,
Looks
here
like
he is
he's
back.
back
He is
there.
back in the he's back in the session now, and
There he is.
I don't think he'll have an opportunity to qualify because there's only a minute 10 left in the session, but he will be able to race, but he's going to have to start from the rear as Harry Grindle goes to second and Josh Patterson goes to third. Oh, knock Keaton Jones back into fourth.
Well, it looks like Mulrooney will hopefully be able to make his way through the field pretty quick, as there's not much of a field to go through. So even if he starts in the rear, it won't take him very long to be right back up at the front again.
Yes, sir. And he showed winning speed in practice because he was right up there with Christopher's lap times. He actually had the quickest lap in practice. If he comes through the back of the field and wins this race, I'm not going to be surprised at all. 30 seconds left in qualifying. I don't expect anybody else to be taking a time. Looks like Christopher Wile's going to get the pole here at Pocono. Eric Stamp logs in a minute lap time. Hopefully that's not his regular speed. That is just a mistake on the lap. He makes way to 7th on the board. And yes, qualifying is over. Congrats, Christopher Wheel, on the 7 guys took time, and the rest of them are going to be sorted based on iRacing. All right, so the starting grid right now, Christopher Weil wins the pole with a 57.164 to his outside, Harry Grindle in the double. And row number 2, you got Josh Patterson on the inside, Keaton Jones on the outside. And in row 3, Kiloa Hankins is on the inside in 5th, and Dominic Howe will be in 6th position. Dewey?
And taking up the rest of the field, starting in 7th on the inside, will be that 09 of Eric Stamp. To his outside will be the rejoined Aaron Mulrooney in 8th. And I believe 9th will be the 83 of Joe Burgee. And 10th will be the 5 of Matthew McDonald.
The starting grid might be jumbled just a little bit because there were several people that ended up leaving the session, like Sean Leisure, and then also Cody Webster, who's registered as a driver. Unfortunately, he had to register as a driver, wouldn't give him the admin powers because he is in the sky. He will be making the calls in this race from...
Right, Jackson Menchu's actually lined up in front of Matthew McDonald. I did not see him in the camera view I had up. So he will be starting 9th, not Joe Burgee. He will be starting 10th, and McDonald will be 11th.
All right, Dewey, so pretty decent field as far as speed goes. Who do you think is going to get the win today?
I think whoever's leading at the end of lap 3 or 4 might have the win, because with such a short race and such a small field, if you get up to a lead really quick, you might already be looking towards a checkered flag.
Yeah, but I'm also going to consider the treacherous track condition because this is Pocono and there's lots of looks like really bumpy track out here. And notice the fact that there was lots of incidents in practice: cars flipping over, cars getting in the grass, cars riding all kinds of crashes. So these guys are going to be battling the tough handling race cars. The pace car pulls off now, and we will be getting this race underway shortly.
And now, if we look at the today's weather at Pocono, we have a mostly cloudy sky here with a current temperature of 79 degrees, pretty toasty here. Track temp of 97, so an inverse of 79. Winds will be coming out of the southeast at 7 miles per hour as they now switch to south. And the good thing is there will not be any fog today, so we don't need to see what happened in 2016. No fog.
In the pit window, we're going to have 50% fuel, so I believe you'll have to pit once. Because you normally can't make it on 30 anyways, but... yeah, I mean... yeah, you're going to have to pit once in this race. There's no way getting around that with 50% fuel.
Right.
As we get down the back straightaway, this guy's grading up. Yeah, pit window is 16 to 19 laps, I was just told, so... absolutely, you have to pit once. And if you mess up your pit strategy, you might have to pit twice. But hopefully you don't
if you mess up your pit stall or your pit stop at all, it might ruin your race. Especially green flag pit stops.
Correct. And I'm not sure if I'm expecting green flag pit stops just because this track's really, really, really bumpy, treacherous, and there's prospect for crashes.
We shall see. Hopefully there won't be too many crashes. But the unexpected should always be expected.
Kiloa Hankins telling everybody to pass right, so I don't know if he's having a blinking issue or what, but He is pulled off. Here we go. The pace car is now pulled off.
Green, green, green.
We are taking the green flag. We're underway here at Pocono. As Kiloa Hankins reappears on the track, he had an issue with the internet, as he normally does. He lives in Hawaii, so that's not a surprise. We're already fanning, weaving cars down on the inside, trying to get a good angle into turn number 1.
Christopher Wiles pulling away a little bit already. You got a really good start.
Jones really gets sideways there. He's going to have a great save as they go down the back straight.
Wow, that was really quick.
Cars darting and
Right,
making
race.
moves to avoid him right now. One car pushing him down the back straightaway. That's Menchu. And he'll have to get off the bumper as he goes into 3 because he'll wreck him if he doesn't. Josh Patterson goes by Harry Grindle for second place. This guy's really using all the track as they go through the tunnel turn right.
It looks like they're getting loose out of every turn.
Yeah, and as I said, really bad handling setup according to some of the.
Oh,
Not a
Dominic
surprise.
Howell.
It's Pocono.
Right there.
Oh yeah, all these guys really getting sideways. We complete lap number 1. Christopher Weil will lead that lap, which we are
Sort of go
3
three
wide
Yeah.
down the front straightaway. Eric Stamp in the middle. You've got Jackson Metchu swinging his car to the outside, and they're both going to fall behind Keaton Jones in the turn number 1.
Keaton Jones, winner of the Michigan Bronze race, looking to have another strong run today. Talk about car.
Bad exit for Josh Patterson off turn 2. You got Harry Grindle moving to the inside for second. How about Aaron Mulrooney for third?
And Menchu's making a run for Keaton's position. I believe that's 5th or 6th now.
That'll be 6th place on the track. As they go through the tunnel turn, Keaton gets really high on the track, has to let off the gas to avoid hitting the wall. He actually doesn't lose a whole lot of ground, but he'll lose that position as Metchu goes by. Oh, stack up into turn number 3, right where Jackson Menchu was. He had to let off the gas a whole lot or he was going to go plowing into the corner. Keaton Jones trying to take that spot back, moves down to the inside, and will probably get him into turn number 1 as he's got all kinds of momentum.
Christopher Weil is gone. He has opened up a huge lead over the rest of the field. Over 2 seconds now. So, barring a caution, he might be setting sail already.
Yep, and Dominic Howell just went by Josh Patterson for 4th, so proximity moving up right now. Meanwhile, Keaton Jones and Jackson Metchu really battling hard for this position. Both of them not really given. They've been going back and forth with the position. Eric Stamp watches from 8th.
I believe Dominic Howe just hit the wall out of the tunnel turn as
we got
3rd to Pat or 4th
one
to
car's
Patterson.
one car's really slow going into turn number 3. That was McDonald. Appeared to have hit the wall. He's got all sorts of right side damage. Kiloa also gets loose off the corner. These guys in the rear really having a bad time handling the race cars right now.
Yeah, McDonald was having a little bit of trouble in practice, keeping it off the wall as well. It's unfortunate that happened to translate into the race, but
There's a move for second. Oh, we got
Yellow flag is out.
caution's out. We have a crash in turn number 1. Who's that around? Dominic Howell spun it.
Eric Stamp, I believe, is involved in that as well.
We'll get a replay of that right now. And it looks like Dominic Howell went around off of the bumper of Josh Patterson as he was trying to get the crossover. Yep, just barely got into his right rear, but that's enough to send him sideways and around. Thankfully, he doesn't hit anything, but lock it down, get it to a halt in turn 1, and he'll be able to continue on, but he'll just have to put new tires on that thing because he's probably flat spotted him.
Well, I'd much rather have to put new tires on than kick a fender out, so he got lucky. And Eric Stamp was not involved in that incident. I recant that statement.
Yeah, the only 2 guys that were a part of it was Josh Patterson and Dominic Howell. Dominic Howell getting a bad end. And Webster is just giving a 1 out of 3 to the 0-2 of Patterson, so expect him to be sent to the end of the longest line.
It's not a very long line,
And I'll
but the
tell you
longest
what,
line.
that is track position that he's losing, and he's got to be behind the slower cars, so it's going to be probably a challenge getting around, unless they just go up, hit the wall or something.
I'm not sure if we will see any pit stops here. So, we're still only on lap 5, so even if they pit for fuel now, they would still be outside of the pit window for the completion of the race.
Yeah,
So Howe might be the only person to pit here.
the only way I see anybody pitting is if they're banking on another caution midway in the race, just out of random, like somebody spins out or something and brings out the caution. That's the only reason I pit here, but that's also gutsy call. You can't really guarantee that that's going to happen, so I'm not expecting anybody else on pit road out on the 30 to put some new tires on that proximity racing machine, but who knows?
Oh, the leader's coming in. Christopher Wiles been making
And as
actually almost the whole field did.
the entire field actually comes. Nope, Keaton. Well, what's Keaton doing?
Harry Grindle will stay out and get a bonus point for leading the lap, and nope, Keaton did pit. So Harry Grindle is the only car to not come for service, as what I said was proven completely wrong about 30 seconds after I said it.
Oh boy, yeah. As soon as I say nobody was going to pit, we got everybody in the pits except one. See if anybody overshoots their pit box. It doesn't look like anybody will. So
that's how it always works.
Mistake-free pit stop. Keaton's going to get out first. I'm not sure if he took 2 tires or not, but he is already.
That's probably a strategy call if he made it out first. And Lyle will come out second. I believe that's Mulrooney in third off of pit road. Howe in fourth.
Eric
Stamp, Bergie, Hankins, and Menchu. And Patterson and McDonald are still getting service.
Yeah, Patterson's just sitting there right now. He's got to go to the end of the longest line for causing the crash, get a 1 out of 3 penalty. And McDonald, he has to repair some right side damage sustained from hitting the wall. So I'm not sure if it was required damage to fix or not, but if it was going to be lengthy, as he actually comes out of the pits now.
Yeah, perhaps could have been like an extra 30 seconds if required. Probably not much, if any, so he should be right back out there now. Patterson, however, is still sitting on pit road. Oh, and now he's going to make his way out.
Well,
And
we're going to go to commercial break, as these pace laps are kind of boring, so I'm pretty sure the commercials are more exciting right now. But yeah, we're going to commercial break. We'll be right back.
Welcome back here to Pocono Raceway in the beautiful Pocono Mountains in Pennsylvania, as we are pacing into turn 3, ready to go back green here, and looks like Harry Grindle will lead them to the green and has elected the outside lane for the restart.
Just found out that these are Harry Grindle's first ever laps led in iSCAR, so good job, Harry, in that 0-2 machine. He is going to lead him to the... He's got that anime person on the front of his car. It's a pretty underrated scheme. I'm sort of a fan of that, but at the same time, it kind of looks boring. But anyways, here we go. Green flag's coming back out. Let's see how Harry Grindle fares on these old...
Underrated according to who?
Myself.
Okay. And looks like Mulrooney's a little bit of a run here into turn 1.
These guys aren't fanning out as much as they did on the initial start. These guys are really trying to give each other room into turn number 1. But Joe Bergey's going to slide up the racetrack. You've got Kealoha Hankins blinking right there, creating an even bigger hazard for the cars out on the track. Keaton Jones trying to move to the inside of Christopher Wilde. And Harry Grindle, as they are pushing each other into turn number 2.
Yeah.
Tunnel.
Mulrooney's going to have a chance to get by these two guys, too, with that drafting they just did.
The only thing that's helping Harry right now is that he is one of the fastest drivers here. Here we go into turn number 3. Keaton Jones, your new leader. He'll lead his first lap of the day. Kealoha Hankins throwing it in there.
Oh,
he's gonna...
Oh, my goodness.
Look at this.
I thought that was going to be a wreck.
Lagging right into Dominic.
He's in the grass.
And he'll get sideways on turn number 3. It'll save it.
Wow.
Nice save.
He had a run on Dominic, and then I looked over again, and he was blinking inside of him, and I thought they were all going to get wadded up into the wall, but luckily for everybody, that did not happen.
Dominic is lucky that Kealoha was blinker. Keaton Jones trying to hold his lead right now. He was really, really helped by that pit stop. He had a great pit stop, and he's going to try and fend off Aaron Mulrooney right now, who has been one of the hottest drivers in the league as of late. He won at Bristol in the Cup race in a dominant way, and he's just been clicking off really good finishes ever since then.
It's worth noting that wherever Howe is in the wall, but it's worth noting wherever it came from, Harry Grindle does have some rear-end damage. Not sure where it came from, but
perhaps that bump draft on the back straightaway, because
maybe
they caught him really, really quickly, and the guy behind him, Christopher Wilde, had no choice but to go. Speaking of Chris, he's fallen back into the 7th position.
He's down to 7th now.
Metchu to the inside. Eric Stamp. They're going for 5th right now. Eric's having one of his better runs this season. He's kind of struggled in the series. It's going to be a good run for him if he can hang on. Keaton's maintaining his lead down the back straightaway. And that Corey Hart's media sponsored paint scheme. Aaron just really gets a good run through the tunnel turn. Look how much time he gets.
Howe's in the wall again.
Oh, they're taking a
couple spots here. Wilde's coming up on him now.
I think Aaron's going to get Keaton off turn number 3. Look at the big run he has on the inside. His car really digs down on the inside. And they're going to be side by side down the front straightaway.
Howe's got a lot of right front damages. He's down to like 7th. Yeah, he's down to 7th from, I believe, 3rd or 4th, so...
Keaton led that lap, but not for long. We got one car.
Tampa's a problem, or I don't know what just happened, but he went way down to the bottom.
I don't know if that he meant to dive down there was a late decision that's going to cost him, not one, maybe even 2 spots as Dominic now goes by.
Yeah, that was bizarre.
Back in from 5th to 7th. Yo, we got it. Oh! Keaton hard to the outside wall. Upside down. Careening out of control. Oh my gosh. Oh, watch out, guys. And a big oh my god. Awful crash.
Oh my.
The tunnel
and Hankins just clipped him too. Oh my goodness.
What?
And that's going to definitely end Burgie's night and Jones's night. My goodness.
Oh man. I'm going to replay this. This was a horrible crash in the tunnel turn.
Unfortunately, today, Keaton Jones will not be seeing the light at the end of the tunnel.
No pun intended there, hopefully. But we're going to get a replay of what happened. It was so odd. Looks like when Keaton Jones was entering, Aaron turned down like he was clear. Oh my goodness. Sends him up in the outside wall. He immediately goes upside down. And then he can't control it at this point. He careens down the racetrack, and Joe Birdie has no idea that there's a crash. He plows right into him, and then Kiloa mostly blinks through the crash. Holy Toledo. What an awful crash in the tunnel turn.
It's really unfortunate for Keaton. He was the best car of the night so far, and now
it's hard to determine blame there because you got Aaron coming down the track, but at the same time you got Keaton moving up the racetrack. So we're gonna drag Keaton Jones in for an interview to see what happened because holy cow, I'm not even sure what happened. We'll see what he says from his viewpoint. Keaton Jones, you got a copy?
Yes, I do.
I just wanted to ask you about that crash because that is one of the worst odd-looking crashes I think I've ever seen in this. What did you see from your vantage point?
It was definitely a wild ride indeed. But going into that corner there, I thought I had Mulroney. I mean, I did clear him, and I didn't think I was going that hard into the corner, but I guess I was. And it's just he said he turned in early, and I said I kind of dove in hard, so we just both chalked up to a racing incident. But it was a good race while it lasted. I honestly didn't think I was going to be up there because practice sucked, qualifying sucked, but yeah, we're still alive. We somehow survived that crash without dying, even though we just got launched about 500 feet into the air.
You had a good run, and it's unfortunate that it ended that way. Yeah, it was hard to determine blame for that, though, because it looked like you came up and Aaron came down. It was just no way of avoiding.
Yeah.
You go ahead.
Yep. No, I would just say to sum it up short, I was probably faulting both our parts. It's just racing in this series, but yeah, it happens.
Well, good luck the rest of the week in the other 3 series, and have a good night.
All right, thank you.
That was Keaton Jones. Really unfortunate to see him out of the race. You're on lap number 14. Meanwhile, we got pit stops going on. There was multiple people that had to repair damage, including Josh Patterson, Keaton Jones, who was definitely out of the race after that. Holy cow. Also, Joe Berge was repairing damage. And looks like Aaron Mulroney's going to get EOL for that. But, yep. And out of all of that, your leader is going to be Jackson Menchu in the 53 car, and he'll have his teammate in second, Christopher Weil. So really, really good night for Friends of Kermit Racing right now. Their guys 1-2.
As that was a good big break for Weil, as he had slipped back to about 6th to 7th. So this caution will put him right back to the front again. And here comes Menchie down pit. Oh, nope, he faked them all out.
Oh, well, wonderful.
He didn't fake anybody out. He probably faked himself out. Nonetheless, he will retain the lead and will get at least 1 bonus point for leading a lap.
I was kind of hoping he'd send those water barrels exploding everywhere, but can't always get what you want. But yeah, Menchie's having a really...
Sam Hornish at Watkins Glen, but
yeah, he's enjoying one of the best runs of, I'd say, his career in this series so far. He's leading the way right now. And he's been battling top 5 already.
Eric Stamp probably has the most amount of points to gain in the standings, so and he's up to 3rd place. So with the misfortune of Keaton Jones and of Berge, this is a golden opportunity for Stamp to really gain some ground towards a championship. And again, like before, these are really long pace laps at Pocono, so we will be back.
We're back here at Pocono. The lights are out on the pace car. We're just past halfway. We're on lap 16 right now, coming to lap 17. And when we get the green flag, we will have 14 laps to go in the race. Most of these guys have made their pit stops and should be good to the end on fuel. So there's going to be no concerns about that unless you did not pit at all. Then you might have some concern. But here we go. Off turn number 4, or turn number 3, I should say. This is Pocono. We're going to take the green flag once again. Jackson Menchu leads them.
And with only 9 cars left in the race, congratulations to everybody still racing for automatically gaining a top 10 finish today.
Yep, good points day for all of them, but got a side-by-side battle in turn number 1 with these Friends of Garment Racing teammates. Mechu goes high on, but he's going to get a good exit off the turn number 1. Christopher Wells
making a run here.
Yeah, Harry's going to actually take it 3 wide. Oh,
not quite. Ball shut the door on him, but
turn number 2. Christopher Wild takes the lead.
And Grindel's going to take second here as well.
Oh, Mechu, watch the wall.
Eric in the wall. Uh-oh.
They've got a big crash.
Over was Eric Stamp. And the caution will come back out again.
Also involved Dominic Hale. Both of them gets plenty of air in this crash. Caution again here at Pocono for another horrible crash in the Christopher Wild will escape that with the lead.
And Eric Stamp's promising points day has come to a crashing halt. But he will still get, I believe, 9th. So, still a top 10 day for him, as
still driving the car.
He's somehow driving still.
Let's get a replay on that. We got Eric Stamp really got high off turn number 2, the tunnel turn. He hit the wall and then came back, and Dominic was just right there. And both of them come just crashing down the backstretch. Derek Stamp goes for
Patterson might have gotten a piece of that too. He went through the grass, but nope, he avoided the whole thing, but did do some off-roading. So perhaps some new tires on that car.
Yes, sir. I'm not sure if anybody's gonna pit. I guess Menchu may have to because he stayed on, but I don't know. We'll see what these guys are going to do on this caution.
Well, Howe's definitely going to pit, but besides him, like you said, I don't know. At this point, it's all strategy.
Yeah, Eric Stamp's probably got unrepairable damage. That car is absolutely battered on all sides. The rear end is absolutely bashed, and yeah, he's gone. He just left the server now, so...
I'm not sure how he even drove that back to pit road.
It didn't seem like the engine had completely blown on it yet. It's probably why. And does not look like anybody's really going to go to the pits except Dominic Howe, who...
Oh, Chloe Hankins has made the turn down, so we got 2 takers.
Yeah, late decision, but...
One necessity and 1 taker.
Hey, if you come down and the rest of the guys don't, their tire's going to wear out. You might actually be in good position to gain some positions. So these are the kind of calls that can gain you lots of spots in the final run, but you got to bank on that going green, because otherwise it just gives them a whole opportunity to, get fresher tires than you have.
Looks like Hankins might have gone fuel only. That was a very quick pit stop.
Wow, so
or perhaps it was a 2-tire stop.
I would have taken 4. I mean, you're the only one down pit road. You got every opportunity to maximize your benefit.
Right, that looked way too short to be a 4-tire pit stop.
Fuel only was the call.
Interesting.
We'll see how it works out. I mean, if I was him, I would just take 4 tires, maximize all your benefits, as you're the only one in the pit lane. So, I mean, be a good strategy to try and use, but he did not do that. So he'll probably be at more of a disadvantage, actually. Track position's gone.
I'm not sure if Menchu pit on the last round.
I think he stayed out. He took 2 tires.
Oh, okay.
That call didn't really hold up that well, as he immediately fell back to 3rd off the restart. We're gonna go back to another commercial break. This is way more exciting than the pace laps anyways, so when we come back, we'll get the green flag once again.
And welcome back to Pocono Raceway here as we are winding down today's Bronze Series race. As when we go green, we will have 9 laps to go. Christopher Weil and Harry Grindle will lead the field down to the green. Jackson Menchu will be 3rd, Josh Patterson 4th, and rounding out your top 5 will be Aaron Mulrooney. And we are back green and Weil with a good restart. And he will start to pull away from the field.
Harry did not get a good restart on that. He's going to maybe lose second to Jackson here. But if he can get clear of Jackson right here, he can make a run. But he does not get clear of Jackson Menchu, and they'll fight for second place. Harry gets a good run off turn number 1.
Him to extend his lead.
He gets a good run off turn number 1. We got one car in the wall sideways down the backstretch.
Everyone avoids it. It was Dominic Howe again. Rough day at the office for him.
3 wide. Oh, guys, watch it. John Patterson
really sent it in and somehow made it work.
Save it. Man, that was almost disaster in the tunnel turn.
And Patterson's going after Mulrooney now into turn 3. What a gutsy move he made on Grindle. As Grindle's fallen way further and further back as Hankins is looking...
Oh, watch out, Josh. About to get into the side of Aaron, but these guys are really trying to do their best to stay off each other. We got Blinker. That's Kiloa Hankins. Again, not a surprise, but... I mean, that's just his internet. Can't really fix that unless you switch, which I would recommend he does. But, I mean, there isn't really a whole lot he can do about it. Christopher Weil continues to lead, and he's returning to his early race form, where he pulled out to a big lead. He's going to try and do the same here to close out the race. Oh, Harry Grindle almost gets in the wall off the turn number 1, but is able to keep it off the wall as they go into turn number 2. Jackson Menchu trying to hang on to second, make it a Forensic Hermit Racing 1-2, which would really put the momentum for the team. Oh, Jackson almost hits the wall, though.
Looks like the field's really, it's all single file now. The race winds down, which is the opposite of what I would have expected to happen. But I guess as the race is worn on, the really dominant cars have showed themselves to be what they should be. It's Patterson's the wall.
Yeah. Patterson got the wall there. He's going to lose the spot to Harry Grindle, who goes by for... He'll take that spot as a snake train down the front straightaway. Menchu trying to hold off Aaron Mulrooney right now. So we took 7 laps to go just now.
I would say that Hankins is trying to gain on Patterson, but I can't see him half the time he's in the turn. So
Menchu rides the wall. Yep.
That's going to end a really good run for him as he's going to drop and drop and drop some more. So
from second back into
second place.
Probably 6th. Maybe even further, as Dominic. Got one car was like blinking. Kiloa Hankins again. Not surprised, but I thought that was a crash for a minute. But nope, it's just blinking in the tire smoke.
He's got to run on Grindle now,
and he's throwing it in there. But that actually might be a good run off the turn. Yes, sir.
Grindle got a decent enough exit, but Hankins might be able to get him into 1 if he can keep with him on the inside.
He did not, as blinking's going to slow him down anyways because he can't get a draft off of anybody in front of him. But Harry will get the edge into turn number 1. We'll keep 4th spot for now. Aaron's got by for second as Menchu was up on top of the wall as he exited turn number 1, and that really messed him up. But Christopher Weil pulling away now. He has pulled away every lap since this restart. He's got 1.34 seconds up on Aaron right now.
And Aaron's got about over a second on 3rd place, so Aaron's got nobody anywhere near him. So for now, we can just focus on what he's doing, and if he does that, he'll end up with a 2nd place finish.
I mean, there's still the opportunity that he can catch up, but he's got to run really good laps to do. And we'll see what the interval is this time by, as Chris takes 5 to go.
It is 1.3 seconds, it looks like, and then there's a...
It went up just a little bit, so...
Right.
It's gonna be a challenge now, as it looks like Chris is gonna pull away for 2nd win of the season, but you could still have a crash and could go into green-white checkered, which would also put us under a fuel concern, because extra laps on the fuel, you're not... because the pit window is 16 to 19 laps at this track.
Right.
They've gone a while since pitting, most of these drivers have, so multiple green white checkers will really hurt them. I don't think one green white checker will because of all the caution laps. If you get into 2 or 3, that's really going to be a detriment.
2 or 3 might see the entire field come down for fuel.
Except Kiloa Hankins, so we'll have to watch that. Because he, of course, made the pit stop on this latest car.
As the gap between Weil and Maroney is now up to 1.6 seconds, so Weil gained 1.3 on that lap.
Yeah, he is.
And Mulrooney's also really separated himself from third place, as he's got a 2.5 second gap between himself and third place Josh Patterson.
He is
So
just knocking
Mulrooney's
down
in
those
no
lap
man's land
times.
here.
Just knocking down those good lap times, and he's got to close this race out.
Here comes
Gotta move
Grindle
for-
looking for third. The 002 passing the 02.
Watch
And
out, because
looks
these
like he's gonna
cars are
make a
really
mistake.
tight. Yep, but
And
Harry,
Hankins is going to get a draft going into 3. They both might get by Patterson, and they will. And Hankins
Lowe's
is going
gonna
to
send it in.
third here.
oh, but he blinks
And
out while he's
blinks,
doing it.
yep.
Watch out, John. Oh,
It
man.
must be really scary for Patterson, knowing he doesn't know where the car is trying to pass him is.
Oh, boy, almost got loose of turn number 3. Kilo will get passed, most likely, for this 4th spot by Patterson.
As we now have just 3 long Pocono laps to go. So time is running out to make any positional gains here.
Gap's up to 1.7 now as Chris is popping off those laps, and it's going to be a really good night for friends at Kermit Racing. They have they've been really good as a team since they've entered this series, following the absolute fallout of SRAM Dadgar Motorsport. But
Right, but we don't like to talk about that.
well, anyways, that's how that team started, but I'm not going to go into the many details. But anyways, Kerry Grindle's really moving away from Kiloa for the 3rd spot, so if he doesn't mess up, I think he's got this podium secured. You got crossed the line, 2 to go now for Chris. And he puts that gap up to 2 seconds over Aaron Maroney, who is just trying to salvage what he can at this point. It doesn't really look like he's going to gain or lose any positions. He just really wants to bring this car home.
Right, he's 3.5 seconds up on Harry Grindle now, so barring like him hitting the wall and spinning out, I think Mulrooney's got second pretty much locked up here.
And Matthew McDowell is going to come out of here with 8th place. Not bad. That's going to be the last of guys that have started, but I mean, he's going to end up finishing this race, so it's going to be a really good day for him, just getting experience in this. As we go back up to the lead, Christopher Weil going to come off turn number 3. He'll take the white flag. This time, no more cautions will be coming out, and he will go down the front straightaway, and is just continuing to pull away right now. Makes 2.1 seconds. So they go into turn number 1 for the final time.
Looks like everybody's really started to spread out now. Even Grindle, Hankins, and Patterson are not close enough to each other to really make a run on any of them, so barring anything crazy, it looks like where they're running right now is where they're going to finish.
Down the back straightaway for the final time, into the tunnel turn. Christopher Weil has really hit his marks all day long. He fell back in that middle stint of the race, but here he comes down the final straightaway, before the front straightaway. So they go into turn number 3 for the final time. Christopher Weil, he got his first win of the season at Iowa in a really convincing fashion. And off turn number 3, Christopher Weil will get his 2nd win of the season. It'll come at Pocono Raceway in dominating fashion. He wins it. Aaron Mulrooney will come home 2nd. Harry Grindle comes away with a podium. You've also got Kiloa Hankins coming home in 4th.
Oh, we have a crash after the finish.
Big crash.
Patterson's gone around.
Hard into the wall.
I wonder if that
It
was
looks like that was
retaliation
after
for the earlier
contact with.
incident.
Looks like that was after contact with Dominic Howe, as Dominic just sends it into turn number 1, and
Oh no, Patterson
It's
wrecked
really
himself coming to the line
Wow.
on purpose, looks like. At first I thought that could have been retaliation because Patterson turned Howe for the first caution of the race, but looks like
Yeah.
Patterson was messing around coming to the finish.
yeah, it was Josh Patterson just wrecking. So, from the angle I had, it looked like they were both into each other. So, Anyways, Jackson Menchu also spun across the line there, but really, really good night for Friends of Kermit Racing. They could have been 1-2 if Jackson hadn't climbed up on the wall, but these guys will be doing double burnouts, it looks like. Great team win for them.
And with that, we will go to commercial break, and when we come back, we will have post-race interviews.
We're back at Pocono Raceway. We're going to have our post-race interviews commencing right now. Let's drag Christopher Weil into the booth. He is your winner. Christopher Weil, you got a copy?
Yeah, loud and clear.
You had a great win today. Just talk about how the car handled out there.
So I find that this car with these tires handles just how I like it, where it's like a little loose on entry and kind of loose on exit if you just get the rear right on the edge. So it really suits me, and just like where I won before, I don't even remember what track it was at, but the setup just kind of was right in tune with what I like to drive.
Yeah, now you've got 2 wins on the season. You're really on a good streak as far as running well in this series goes. You got any sponsors to thank?
I want to thank, of course, Trey Shuttlesworth Photography for being the main sponsor on the car. And I also want to thank Jackson Menchu for being a good teammate. He helped me out a little on the restart where he was the leader. He told me, like, he knew I was faster and that he was going to let me go. So without him, I probably wouldn't have won the race.
Yes, sir. And this can be a great points day for you. You came in 18th in the points. This is really going to boost you up.
Yeah.
Congrats on the
Thank
win, and see you in the rest of the week. If you're coming in any of the races, good luck.
Thank you. See ya.
That was Christopher Weil, your race winner today, and we're going to drag Aaron Mulrooney Jr. now into the booth. Aaron Mulrooney, you got a copy?
Yes.
So you had a great run today in second place. Led some laps, I believe, and so I got to ask, what was your view on the wreck with Keaton earlier in the race?
It was one of those incidents to where Keaton probably wasn't going to make the turn, and I was going to do a crossover move, and I just miscalculated it by a little bit. So it was just one of those things that I think if I just had hit the brake a little bit harder, I think it would have never happened.
Yeah, and so if you had a couple more laps added on to the end of the race, fuel not being an issue, do you think you could have caught Weil, or do you think he had set sail for the win already?
Nah, I wasn't driving that well. I had some damage from the incident earlier in the race, and it's kind of out of the groove. I saw what Wheel was doing to go fast, and I was trying to do it, and I just really couldn't replicate it. But congrats to him on the win. It was well deserved.
Yeah, I had a great car. Any sponsors you want to thank for tonight's race?
Yeah, I'd like to thank Proximity Racing, Splashing Graphics, Trey Shuttlesworth Images, Also Garage Doors, iRacing for creating the service, and I definitely want to thank you, Dewey, and Zeke, and Benjamin for broadcasting. Appreciate it.
All right, man. Thank you. Good run tonight, and hopefully you have good luck the rest of the week.
Thanks. Have a good one.
You too.
Yeah, that was Aaron Mulrooney, and we'll now get Harry Grindle into the booth for an interview. Harry Grindle, you got a copy?
Yeah, I've got you.
You had a nice run, just representing the Weebs very well. Just talk about how the car handled out here tonight, and what challenges you might have faced in the race.
Well, the main struggle I think a lot of the guys were having tonight is these V7 tyres. They're a lot different to drive on than the V6 tyres. These cars especially, you have to turn it on the throttle, so actually getting back to the gas pedal to try and get the thing to sort of pivot around the corner is the main thing. So we saw, I think it was about third, maybe halfway through the race, we saw the 77 and 2 get together. It looked like the 77 just didn't get his car turned on the throttle with those tyres. So that was the main sort of struggle I think a lot of us were having tonight with these cars.
Yeah, and this is going to be a good points day for you. You came into the race 7th in points. This is really going to help you out as far as gaining the positions in the points. How do you feel about that?
Yeah, I feel very happy about that, to be honest with you. It's definitely to be able to run in the top 10 in points in my first season is way beyond what I was expecting alone. So, at this point, I'm just taking everything I can get and seeing where I end up. So, very happy about, a P3 finish. That's my career best in iSCAR thus far. And, yeah, to be able to move further up the points, that's definitely a good day.
All right, you got any sponsors to thank, Harry, before you go?
Well, if you look on the deck lid of my car, you'll see a logo for Team Kamikaze. They're the guys who sort of field me in races. I drive for them in multiple different disciplines off loads of different platforms. So big shout out to them. Other than that, though, that's the only real sponsor I have to shout out on the 002 dialing in the Franks Renault Megane. So big shout out to them.
Well, congrats on your 3rd place finish. Hopefully you can get a better career finish coming soon. Good luck the rest of the week if you're showing up to any of the...
I thought I'll probably be able to show up to 1 or 2. So, yeah, I'll look forward to seeing you then.
All right. Thank you. And with that, this race is over. Congrats, Christopher Weil, on the win. Dewey, you got any last-minute comments you want to say about this race?
Not much, other than despite the field being pretty small, we still had a pretty good race today. So, good winner, good racing. Overall, good race.
Yeah, we had everything from 3 wide moves in the tunnel turn to the space shuttle launching off into the sky. So, I mean, this race had everything. And Christopher Weil just showing that he is one of the contenders for this championship. If he can get further up in the points and get a really good streak going, he might be one of these guys that you're going to have to watch for this championship. So I'm Benjamin White. Dewey Schramm is here along with me. Hopefully you enjoyed today's broadcast, and we'll have 3 more broadcasts coming this week. I want to tune into those, and with that, peace out.